homeowners that are going in there, you know, they're not going to have any problems in the future. But we have to disclose that.
Yeah,
saying
for sure.
that this is what happened.
Yeah.
You know, 2 days before we closed.
Oh, literally 2 days?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, well, they had already signed loan docs and done everything.
Everything was
already,
done, yeah. In fact, they're already funded. We were just waiting for the recording to be done.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, the one that literally just closed
Okay.
last Friday was in the city of Colton, and that property was borderline a short sale.
Borderline short sale. Okay.
Yes, because there wasn't very much of a margin in
Okay.
regards to the equity of
Okay.
that property, so there was not a lot of room to work with.
Okay.
You know, in regards to commissions and negotiations
And fees
from
and all that,
requests for
right?
repairs,
Okay.
termites, all of that.
Yeah. So just for everyone that not into the real estate or don't really understand the real estate, can you just give us like a brief description of what a short sale is?
Oh yes, absolutely. So a short sale is when a property is under market value.
Okay.
And so let's just say you purchased a property 5 years ago, and let's just say you bought it for $410,000.
Okay.
$400,000 just to make it even.
Okay.
However, the property right now, because you know the market changes every 90 days, and the market right now is saying that property is only worth $370 max.
Okay.
Okay, but you've owned it for 5 years, and you're you know, in the loan about maybe $15,000, so your loan is $385, but the house is only worth $375.
Okay, gotcha.
You know,
gotcha.
so you're negative amortization.
Okay.
From the loan, which is you're just a negative balance.
Gotcha.
So to sell your house, you'd have to come up with the difference in regards to the $10,000.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, you'd have to pay for the escrow, title, and commission fees for the agents to do their job. So in that sense, this is where you'd have to contact the bank and negotiate with the bank in a sense that, you know, the homeowners are going through a hardship and they can't afford the property anymore, and that's considered a short sale.
Okay, got you, understand. So this is the one that you just closed this past Friday? Or you
this
closed
past Friday. Yeah, it closed this last Friday.
Oh, okay, cool. So what, can you kind of give us a little story on how this whole transaction happened and stuff like that, and stuff like that.
So the client, I actually met the client through a Facebook ad. He did going to want to sell the property. Okay. Because bottom line is his mortgage was $3,500. Okay. In a Colton area. So
$3,500?
Yeah, $3,500.
Oh my God.
Is a pretty high mortgage.
Yeah.
In Colton, majority of the properties are like on average 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, maybe like 12, maybe max 1,500 like living space square footage. But this house, there's 3 streets in Colton that have large properties. So this house was a 5 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,500 square feet in size.
Okay, good size property.
Now, when you're doing the comparables on that, it's a really hard to manage because within the actual radius of what an appraiser looks at, which is like usually about half a mile to a mile radius, there's not a lot of comparables. In fact, there was none. There was literally only one property that sold for around $430,000.
Okay.
So I was going to list it for $435 because that's what we needed to come in at, just to break even so the seller does not have to pay any money at the end of escrow. Okay. And it didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
So you know, we got a lot of activity. We did some open houses, you know, at Legacy. A lot of the agents did open houses as well too, and we just
I remember that. Everyone, you kept, you know, having them like every weekend.
Yes, right? Yeah, just so I can get the right buyer. And you know, clients would come in, but a lot of times they really didn't qualify. Gotcha. You know, because it was in the $430,000 range. Yeah. $435. So finally, we got an offer. When it came in, they only offered $425,000, And again, I needed to be at 435.
Yeah, just to break even, right? Just
correct.
Okay.
So I ended up negotiating it down to bottom line. They came in at 432,000.
Okay.
Okay, so really that's not that much room, right? So when you're going to sell a house, the agent needs to go in, is going off the words of what the seller is saying of how much they owe on the property.
Okay.
And they give us a copy of their mortgage statement, so that way we can call the bank on their behalf.
Sure.
So that's what I did. So the payoff, okay, so it did work within those ranges in regards to what we listed it for and what his payoff was.
Okay.
Then we pull title on the property. Once we pull title will let us know if there's any other additional liens or any other judgments that can, hold the sale from moving forward.
Okay.
Come to find out that second note on the house, because he had a second on the house, he said it was paid off free and clear. However, the bank put a third note on there, which is for the interest rate of the second note.
Yeah.
So there was an additional $9,500.
Oh my God.
That needed to come in on top of, us breaking even. So that kind of threw a little wrench into our sale.
So when did you find this out? When you guys finally got into escrow, right?
Right. Once we opened escrow, once we pulled title. So technically, shame on me, I should have pulled title from the very beginning.
Yeah.
To see that, because but I was going off the seller's word.
Gotcha.
And saying, the second was paid off and it's a done deal. But whenever there's a lien that's on the house, bottom line is that needs to be paid off.
Sure. Yeah.
Or it needs to be negotiated down. So
now you're in escrow now, right? And you guys had to negotiate your butt off just to even get to that break even.
Just yes.
Right? Okay. Even. And then now you realize that, like, oh crap, that wasn't the real number. Correct. That's like $9,000 under the actual number, right?
Yes, now I'm $9,500. So the seller comes into my office and I'm like, okay, we need to talk. So at this point I'm telling him, you're going to need to come up with $9,500 to close this deal.
Oh my gosh.
And so he's like, well, I don't have that kind of money. I could barely afford to go and pay, the mortgage.
Yeah.
So I told him, okay, so well, we can do a short sale, but because the margins were right there, we really tried to avoid that, because a short sale will damage someone's credit for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
A minimum of 3 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, because you have to claim that you're in a financial hardship even, go through a short sale. And he hasn't been living in the property. It was his primary residence. He had the property for about 8 years. I want to say the past 5 years, he's been renting it out to medical students from the Arrowhead Medical Center.
Okay.
So even though he was getting rent, it was still a cost that he had to pay every single month just to make sure the mortgage was paid. And on top of that, he was already a month and a half late when I came into the picture in regards to getting the house, to be put on the market. Yeah. So this is where we're calling the bank, letting the bank know, like, we're trying to go ahead and make this sale, like a full payoff, so that way we don't have to go and do a short sale because the bank ends up losing money on it.
Sure.
Then on top of that, it appraised for the $432,000.
Okay.
Which was a great thing. That's good news, because now once it appraised for that, now the bank's like, well, I want my money.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, bottom line, long story short, the seller had to go out and get an additional loan somewhere else. So he had to go get a loan from another bank.
Like a payday loan?
Like a $10,000 note on somewhere else, so that way he can go and make sure that we're closed at the end of escrow. For him to put that money into escrow so we can close on this deal as a regular sale.
Oh my God.
So I mean, he was at first in the beginning, he's like, well, I want to be able to get some money out of this sale.
Oh my gosh, really?
And
you have the nerve to say that?
And then he ended up having to pay at the end of the sale.
That is right. So he literally, not only did he pay you commissions or whatever, because that's, we don't work for free.
Correct.
Right. And then the buyer's agent also doesn't work for free.
Correct.
They paid you guys out, and then he had to get an additional loan just to even sell his own home.
Correct.
Like, damn.
Correct. But it does take the ease and the pressure off of him having to come up with $3,500 every single month.
It does,
to make sure this house is paid. Then on top of that, there was some termite damage that was in the garage that was about $975, which needed to be taken care of because the loan required the termite section 1 clearance to be done.
Oh, was it an FHA?
It was an FHA.
Oh, okay.
Then on top of that, there was, some minor things that needed to be done to the property for the request for repairs. So, I hired a handyman, and handyman went out there and did it, and that was an additional like $700 that he had to pay for, which he did. Then, to make things even worse, about 2 days before we were closing, the buyer and the agent went to go do the final walkthrough, and when they went there, they flushed the toilet, and the toilet handle stayed down. And so the house is vacant at this time. They left. The homeowner went in the next day.
Don't tell me.
And there was like water from the upstairs all the way down, running down the wall downstairs, and the whole downstairs floor was flooded.
Are you
Not
serious?
Flooded, but it was, it was pretty drenched.
Oh my god. I mean, like, what are you thinking at this point? I mean, like, it was this close to being a short sale, right? He didn't tell you about all these other liens,
right?
And then this happens. Like, what the heck?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. There's always something that happens, but you just have to. Okay, all right. Well, so the seller calls me, kind of like, oh my god, this is what happened. What do I do?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we need to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hired a plumber. Plumber went out there. Bottom line is the seal that is around the toilet and the flooring, the tile that's inside. So this has been happening ever since the house has been built.
Oh my god.
The house was built in 2005, so it's not that old of a home.
Yeah.
But the tile lifted up from where the cement floor is at. So where the toilet ring seal is a wax seal, and it wasn't sitting flush with the cement, and so where the wax ring was I want to say less than half an inch.
Okay.
But because the tile that was on the cement, made it rise up a little bit more, so they needed a thicker one. But the developer did it when they bought the house. So this was a problem that they always had. So whenever time they flushed the toilet, the water would run in between the two drywalls, and of course water goes down. Yeah. So it found its way down the side pillar of the house.
Oh my gosh. What? So at that point, I mean, did they do like an insurance claim, or what did they do?
No, so it was an insurance claim. So when the plumber came out there, they actually took the toilet off, put a new wax ring that like a thick one. I want to say it was about a good 2 inches in diameter.
Make sure it doesn't happen again.
Correct. And we fixed the problem. So what we did with the flooring is we pulled the carpet back. The sponge that goes from the carpet to the flooring, it literally cut the sponge out, because it was, I want to say, half of the living room. Okay. And the plumber and one of his partners took the sponge outside to dry it, and then got one of these big commercialized size dryers to dry the carpet.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which it did dry the next day.
Yeah.
And then the drywall, it was a little soft, but it didn't do damage to the paint, and it just ended up drying itself off. Okay. So that problem that they had ever since 2005, which was minor, because it only happened every time when you flush the toilet. So it wasn't like a constant water, to be dripping in the wall the whole entire time, because then more damage would be done.
Yeah, for sure.
But the handle got fixed on the toilet, the wax ring. So the new owners that are going in there, they're not going to have any problems in the future. But we had to disclose that, saying that this is what happened. 2 days before we closed.
Oh, literally 2 days?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So they had already signed loan docs and done everything.
Everything was done. Yeah. In fact, they're already funded. We were just waiting for the recording to be done.
Oh my gosh. So I can just imagine like the other side too of like this literally just happened. I'm like,
yes,
no one, it's out of no one's control.
Correct. Correct. When you own a home, you never know when something's gonna happen. Yeah. It just happens, and you just need to fix it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It needs to be dealt with, or else it'll just get worse.
Yeah, because if you prolong it so long, and then when you actually go and sell your house, because I think an average home, or people stay in the home for like 5 to 7 years,
7
right?
years.
Yeah. So,
right.
So if you don't take care of it right then and there, it's gonna freaking be messy when you sell it, right? It's gonna be messy.
Exactly.
So damn, but hey, congratulations on closing that one.
Thank you. I mean, the seller was very happy in regards to getting it done. Like, oh my God, you don't understand how relieved I am from this pressure that you've given to me. So thank you.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, we were just honest the whole entire time. You know, things happen, and as long as you're honest, and as long as we find a way out that is done right. Yeah. Then, you know, it'll be resolved. Nice. You know, it'll be okay. Cool. Houses are just, you know, bricks and mortar.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
And plywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Plywood stuck together.
Exactly. So, well, congratulations for him, even though he still has a $10,000 debt that he's got to pay for. But it's better than a $380 or however much he owed.
It was like a $375 around there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, is he renting now or what?
And this is actually this was his first home that he purchased. He has another home in Lakewood.
Oh, okay.
So he still has his home in Lakewood. But
you had to get rid of this one then.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one that I think it was just a burden on him for a lot of years.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it was he was relieved just to finally make sure it was done.
Yeah.
And not a short sale.
That's crazy.
Not damaging to his credit.
Yeah, exactly. Because credit is very important. So
credit is. Absolutely.
I'll take that $10,000 freaking cut and just freaking, you know, be on my way.
You gotta cut your losses.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, all right, Cindy.